Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode. Stop me up. Stop me up.
Stop me up.
Ladies and gentlemen, where do you go on a Wednesday when it's time to get weird? Ladies and gentlemen, fuck the other podcasts that you got playing in your iPhone, iPod, whatever you call that. If you have an Android, can't be my friend. Hey, fuck it, you can be my friend if you listen to the podcast. Ooh, fuck boneless wings and everything, everyone, whoever ate those things and you ordered it at an Applebee's. Yeah, wherever you buy them. But just remember, we get weird on a Wednesday. So magical what you and I have doing this podcast. It's just me and you right now in your earlobes. I'm caressing the inside of your ears. Maybe while you're driving to work, maybe you're at work and your boss a jerk. Maybe you had to go on break in the bathroom to listen. Just had to escape with me. 7 minutes with Evan. 7 minutes in Evan, if you're into that kind of thing. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, fuck yeah, right? Fuck yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Welcome to Wednesday. We coming hot. And we come in weird, and we get fucking wet on the mic. So fucking wet, dripping on the mic with fucking sexual tension. Tension was the word I was looking for there, okay? But we bring sexual tension. Whenever you do this, not a dry pussy in the house, okay? Gotta get a raft. Either that or drown in it. Drown in that pussy. A bit aggressive, okay? A bit aggressive. And listen, I know the demographics. About 75% men, okay? I don't know. Drowned in that butt sweat. That ball swamp. Whatever you identify as, that's what we're going to drown in. What if I just did that the whole episode? How long would you stay? See, it doesn't sound as good without the effects. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to Wednesday. We're feeling good. We're feeling right. We're feeling weird. And we're feeling wet at the end of the day. Maybe it's the humidity in Texas, and that's fine. It's all part of the game. Listen, don't hate the player, hate the game. Or don't hate the game, hate the player. Whichever one. Listen, whoever came up with that quote, don't hate the player, hate the game, doesn't want to accept responsibilities for their actions. Because that's just saying, hey, don't hate that I'm a piece of shit and cheated on you. Just hate that this world made that possible. No, there's a little thing called self-respect, RESPECT. Find out what it means to me. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, ladies, especially. For that mop you gotta get. We're done. We're done with that. For now. But if the situation comes up, you best believe your boy's jumping right back into it. That's some weird shit. Don't hate the player, hate the game, baby. Nothing ever good happened when someone said that sentence. Nothing. Unless it was used like at the Alamo. Nah, because Alamo didn't end well. Shit, bad example. Maybe 9/11. Nah, fuck. Terrible. God damn it, Evan. We're never going to get sponsorships. Who needs them when you got this? Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're feeling good today. Again, it means the world to me that you guys listen to this podcast. Sometimes I look at the numbers and I'm like, the fuck is this? Why? You know? It blows my goddamn mind. Okay? But that's why every day, 1% better until we're 100% better. And then from there, very minimal gains. Okay? At some point, we're just going to peak, and that's going to be it with the podcast. Okay? And then it's just going to be a fall off. I think as soon as this podcast, quote me now, as soon as this podcast blows up, a lot of people are going to be like, man, I liked it better when it was just him and his. You're probably right. You're probably right. Because I know I'm going to offend someone with that. Not going to give you a full one right there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are feeling good. Had a good show last night. Did a showcase. Blew the tree off in that place. Why a tree? Because it was an outdoor show. Okay? Looked like I was performing in a goddamn magical forest. A Keebler Elf workshop. Okay? Looked like I finally fulfilled my bucket list fantasy performing in the Shire. Beautiful spot. Felt good. Listen, I'm one of those people who, man, I need to get better at this. I'm gonna shed a little bit of the onion layers for you guys. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna bare my soul. Bare my soul. I'm someone who is their own worst critic. Terrible critic myself, to the point where it's probably I have to get better at not critiquing myself so hard, because it's probably holding me back a little bit. But what it does is it makes your boy prepare. Okay, I go crazy over material with stand-up and like always rewriting things, changing tags, everything you're supposed to be doing daily, just going over it. And then I feel sometimes before a show or something, like an hour before, I'm like, fuck, I do not want to do this right now. Fuck, I just need this to have, or, like prepare more. And I'm like, this material is dog shit. And then when I'm actually at the spot, I'm like, fuck, do I even remember my material? And then like I have to like switch my mind and be like, come on, baby, we got this. We got this. And then when you're going up on stage, all the nerves just go away for me. It's really weird. If I can get one laugh out of the crowd, nerves gone, and then we're having a good time. I was talking to a buddy last night about performing high. I can't do it. I lean all my faculties. I approach this like an athlete. All right. Maybe if I didn't think so much while I was performing, like that's what I feel like weed would do, is it would just make me be thinking about people's reactions from like an outside perspective. Because sometimes that's what marijuana would do to me. I remember one time when I was in high school, got very high on the way to school, played a game called baseball. Baseball is what the kids were calling it, where you light up a joint. It was a blunt, actually, from the hood. Listen, light up a joint, and you just pass it around. You take a hit, hold it, pass it around to the next person. They take a hit, hold it, pass it around to the next person. They take a hit, hold it, and then when it comes back to you in rotation, you blow out what you're holding that whole time. Take another hit, keep passing around. If you ever want to go to Mars, hey, Elon Musk, just play that game. You don't even need a goddamn spaceship. You'll get there in your goddamn mind, okay? Because it puts you on another planet where everybody's talking to you and all you hear is, for real. And I remember this was one of the highest I've ever been. I got so high. I want to say I was like a senior in high school maybe, but I got so high to the point where I like got a glimpse into the future. Sometimes that's why I like, DMT trips, mushroom trips and things that people do. They get like some life lessons out of it. The universe gives them a nugget. I got so high that the universe was like, this dude ain't on hard drugs or DMT or mushrooms, but we're going to give him a fucking little nugget just because he went there. And I remember pulling into the school parking lot, and instantly I look at life through a snow globe sometimes when I get too high. because I'm participating in life, but I'm watching it on a goddamn 8K 3D screen where it's just like I'm watching it like a Planet Earth documentary. Things going on. I'm just studying interactions and just like, the fuck is life? You know? You walk into a fucking 7-Eleven too high and you're like, dude, this dude just sells us sugar water. And why is it a stereotype that Middle Eastern people work at like 7-Elevens, but we don't like talk about it enough? It's only like caricatures. But we're like, but I'm more curious about the business model. I'm like, did you just fall into this work? Or is it like a known thing that this is a great business and none of us, anyone else are looking at it? Or have they just dominated the 7-Eleven niche so hard that no one can break into the market? This is what I start thinking about. And I'm like, what does it take to run a gas station with Slurpees? And then I'm like, Evan, you can never run that because you'd be like, hey, our Slurpees are sweetened with stevia because sugar is going to kill you guys. Like, I'm going to be like, hey, I can't sell you this Slurpee. You know, sometimes people, like, they refuse the right to, you know, give service or sell someone alcohol, make a judgment. I'm like, hey, this Slurpee, you're on the verge of obesity and I can't, in good faith, sell you this Slurpee. I wouldn't even have them. I would make no money because I'd be selling them sweetened with stevia and I'd make no profit. And then I'm thinking about all this while the guy's like, hey, how can I help you? And I'm just staring at him and I'm like, I want to work here. You know, that's what my mind does. But I pull into this high school. High as the devil's dick. What? Listen. High as the devil's dick. Said it again. Listen. I look at the landscape of high school. This day I got this nugget as so stupid. I remember we parked in the certain parking lot because this was the cool parking lot. This is where all the cool kids parked. And it was not only just cool to park there, but it was cool to hang out there before school and to let people see you, that you were parking in that parking lot. It was almost like a thing like, oh, wow, he parks in the 200 quad. I don't know which one it was. I think it was the 200 quad. Shout out Courts Hill High. Shout out. I remember one time I like ventured out past, like there was these classrooms way out past like the PE area and everything. I had to like go drop off a paper for class. I remember I ran into like a shit ton of goth kids. I was like, what am I in the goddamn elephant graveyard right now? Like during lunch, I was like, I didn't even know people existed back here during lunch. And they were like lurking, like we have an intruder. Shout out to the goth kids though, you know? They were really exploring sexuality way before everybody else in high school. At least like sensual sexuality. Because man, there's nothing like a goth couple just going at it at school. You'd always catch them doing weird shit, just spooning on the ground and shit. I'd be trying to walk to the bathroom. There'd be a fucking goth couple just spooning. Like they're an old married couple on the ground. He's like, who knows what he's doing down there? He's playing the fucking violin down there. I don't even know what's going on. There's always those weird kids. That's what's funny about when you're a kid. And I say kid, high school age. You think no one knows that you're doing weird shit. Oh, cool. You guys just brought a blanket to high school. It's 104 degrees out and you have a wool blanket over you guys. I can only wonder what's going on under that thing. What kind of sweaty, devilish entertainment, exploration, science is going on under that thing. That's all high school was. Exploration in the name of science and sexuality, especially for the goths. They were blazing the trail. Trailblazers, you know? A lot of eyeliner and trailblazers. But anyway, back to this. What the fuck did we just do? Listen. That day, I got that high and I went to Mars. Became a Martian, actually. Welcome. I realized how stupid high school was. That was the day that everything switched to me. Where I was like, I don't give two shits about anybody thinking I'm cool here. I probably still did. You're a kid at the end of the day. I just want to sound cooler right now. But I remember realizing the weird hierarchies of everything going on. And I was like, these people have their... And like, that's the other thing is like, I broke through the facade of like, there was always the kid who had a cool car. I had a fucking... My car didn't even run before I got it. I had to fix a car to make it drive, but I appreciate the shit out of that VW Golf. I'm emotionally attached to VW Golfs now because it was my first car and it didn't even run. I had to go on all these forums and all these other VW Golf owners help me fix it just via the internet. Shout out to vwforum.com, you know? Might have been .net back then. Shout out. But I remember realizing, oh, these guys aren't even cool because of anything they did. And this is going to be the peak for them because they never had to earn validation. They never had to earn any of this. It just all was given to them. This cool car and this cool clothes and all. Dude, the guys who were like, yeah, my parents don't give a shit. They're out of town. I'm throwing a party this weekend. It's crazy. This is like one of the coolest things I like about life because I am an observant person by nature. Like I love just observing. I love being a people watcher. I love just seeing the different walks of life. And dude, I go to Disneyland. I'm there 40% for the attractions, 50% for the people watching, and 100% there for the turkey legs. Okay? You get me a turkey leg from Disneyland? Delicious bars. But I love being able to look back in life and realize, like, fill in the gaps of how things play out over time. Because, you know, I think most people grew up without money. Most people grew up with certain things and all of this. And, you know, even in high school, I remember getting made fun of because I thought they were cool as shit at the time. I just had no idea. I would have to get shoes from the thrift store. And I remember I got suede smoking shoes. Like who did I think I was? And I remember freshman year walking through class and I remember this dude was like, hey, nice shoes, Evan. And then they started making fun of my fucking suede smoking shoes. They didn't even have laces. I looked like I needed a goddamn pipe and a fucking bathrobe. And I was just going to like sit by a fucking fire. Okay. I was so ahead of my time. And I remember feeling bad. And I was like, fuck, like I want new shoes. I don't want stuff from the thrift store, all this stuff. Which now I realize that shit doesn't matter at all. And, I used to think all those things just given to you were so cool and all of that. And then as life has played out, it's nuts to see where some of those people ended up and then come to find out some of those people who, you know, you thought they had everything were like secretly depressed and having, you know, they were the ones having everyone over on the weekends because their parents were out of town and, you know, their parents didn't give a shit if people drank at their house and all that stuff. And then I realized, oh, fuck, that person is fucked up now because their parents really didn't give a shit what they did as a kid. And now they have no direction or discipline or anything like that. I know a guy who recently overdosed who was one of those guys, and it was sad. He was a cool kid. He was nice, and it's just crazy to see how things play out. Hey, remember when this used to be a comedy podcast? Jesus Christ. But it's true, ladies and gentlemen. It is true. How do we even switch gears from that, huh? Listen, this is something. Speaking of that era, I owe so much to this woman in my life, okay? If I was going to say that there's been one celebrity that was like a celebrity crush, and this is what's fucked up, is I've had 2 posters on my wall growing up of women. Just 2. One of them I bought myself, and one of them was a gift. The one that was a gift for my birthday, I'll never forget it. What was his name? I'm not going to say names on the podcast. I've had people reach out to me not to mention their name. We'll call him David. David got me a poster of Ali Laundry, a bikini model. It was like a Maxim cover. He got me that for my birthday one year when I was like 16, 17. Dude, that thing might as well have been a Target. You know what I'm saying? And the other poster that I had in my bedroom, bought myself from like fucking Hot Topic, whatever, Spencer's, I think, in the mall. Britney Spears. Hit me, baby, one more time. I must confess, it's killing me. And Britney Spears, ladies and gentlemen. Hit me, baby, one more time. Oh, yeah. So good. So good. That childhood fantasy of mine, just growing up, fucking dancing along to her. She was like the original TikTok dancer. This, I must confess, I still believe, you know? And she's in the news. Listen, it is very sad what's happening to Britney Spears with his conservatorship. You know, if you don't know, Britney Spears has been under a control of her father, her own father, this conservatorship. And what that is he basically has control over her life, where she can go, what she can do, her money, her home, everything she does, her dad controls, which is insanity. And I don't know if this was allowed because she has kids. I don't know what the deal is. But she spoke out. She had a recent court hearing about it and was talking about how bad this was and how she wants to get her life back and everything. And this was back in 2008 that this man took control of her life. It blows my fucking mind. Spears, 39, also said she has been denied the right to have more children and was put on the psychiatric drug lithium against her wishes. It's just insane that this happened over a decade ago. Listen, people go through mental breakdowns, and there should be steps to allow people to have their life back. Now, do I know the intricate details of her actual life? No. But here's the thing. If there wasn't money involved, I don't think her dad would be granted all this control over her. And I don't think he would want all this control over her if it wasn't the estate, you know? It's just insane because I knew shit was fucked up because of the way she would post shit on Instagram. If you've gone back and looked at her Instagram, she would post the same pictures and all this stuff and be talking weird and just, she seemed like she was a captive. And then people would write things like in the comments like, Britney, blink twice if you need help. And then they would be like, Britney, post a video with a yellow shirt tomorrow if you need help. And the next day, fucking yellow shirt right there. Okay, proof was in the pudding. I just think that, man, these kind of situations are so weird. I think this is what is fucked up, is what happens. It blows my mind that with all the history, going back to like talking about being observant and everything and seeing how things play out, we see how it plays out with child stars. We've had enough of a sample size of those who, you know, came up in the 70s and even the 60s. I don't know if there's child stars in the 60s, but when they're now, you know, early 2000s, we saw a lot of them fucking just cracking their fucking egg. She came up in that circuit from a young age. And I think there's got to be something about that, you know. It blows my mind that there's still people who would have their kids try to be child stars. It blows my mind. It's the attention. It's the overstimulation of attention when you're young from being a child star. And when it starts going away, your value starts going away. And I think that's going to be a weird thing with like TikTok and everything like that. And when you start seeing this level of attention on regular kids that are becoming viral TikTok stars when they get older, what's going to happen to them when all that starts going away. When China comes in and is like, hey, yeah, we fabricated all our views on TikTok. Sorry. Like, it's all going to go away. Like, what's going to happen, to these kids? It's not good. It's not good. But I would love to see, what is a conservatorship? That's a hard word. Listen, I saw it when I was going to say it to you guys, and I was like, fuck, let's see if we can get through this, Evan. Conservatorship. A conservatorship is granted by a court for individuals who are unable to make their own decisions, such as those with dementia or other mental illnesses. Spears' conservatorship, bars, is split into two parts. One is for her estate and financial affairs. The other is for her as a person. Under that agreement, the pop star has not controlled her finances since 2008. That is around the time she began to behave erratically amid her divorce from Kevin Federline and a custody battle over their children. The star made headlines in a series of public incidents, including shaving her head, and she was twice admitted to the hospital. Dude, this is insanity. This is like some Twilight Zone shit. Like some fucking Shutter Island. If Shutter Island was from the view of Leonardo DiCaprio. Where, plot twist, or spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Shutter Island, stop listening to the podcast now. Where he realizes he's a patient, or are they trying to make him a patient in Shutter Island? And dude, how in 2010 did they not evaluate her and go, yeah, well, it makes sense that you were kind of having a breakdown when you're going through a divorce and a custody battle. Oh, she shaved her head. Do you realize how minor that is compared to the shit that goes on now that she shaved her fucking head? Dude, Demi Lovato shaves her fucking head once a week and shuts down a fucking Froyo business. Okay? How does Britney Spears have a conservatorship? Take two. How does Britney Spears have a conservatorship and Demi Lovato is free running around saying that gyms and Froyo are fat shaming people? She shaves her goddamn head and says no one should be able to post about Froyo. If you haven't seen this, it is nuts what's going on with Demi Lovato. Aside from her as a person. But Google Demi Lovato and Froyo. Is a sugar-free cookie inherently triggering? Hey, shut the fuck up. Is sugar-filled food inherently indulgent? These are the questions raised by the drama unfolding between pop star Demi Lovato and LA frozen yogurt shop The Big Chill. The answer to both questions is no, but let's break it down more anyway. Demi Lovato called out The Big Chill in their Instagram stories, finding it extremely hard to order Froyo from @TheBigChillOfficial when you have to walk past tons of sugar-free cookies, other diet foods before you get to the counter. They wrote, oh yeah, that's right, she identifies as they. They wrote accusing the store of harmful messaging and using the hashtag Diet Culture Vultures. The Big Chill in return defended itself on Instagram saying, we carry items for diabetics, celiac disease, vegan, and of course have many indulgent items as well. But Demi Lovato also posted direct messages between them and The Big Chill in which they argued that the food, which to their credit are from a brand called Eat Me Guilt Free, suggesting there's something shameful about eating a sugary treat, should be labeled differently because in LA, it's really hard to distinguish diet culture versus health needs. This is the most ridiculous shit ever. Sorry, I'm trying to look and see what else is going on. Okay, so Big Chill responded to her DM. We are not diet vultures. We cater to all our customers' needs for the past 36 years. We are sorry you found this offensive. Hey, very political, very professional, handled it well. Okay. Demi Lovato goes, not just that. Your service was terrible, so rude. The whole experience was triggering and awful. You can carry these things for other people while also caring. Oh, you can carry these things for other people while also caring for another percentage of your customers who struggle daily just to even step foot in your store. You can find a way to provide an inviting environment for all people with different needs, including eating disorders, one of the deadliest mental illnesses, only second to opioid overdoses. Don't make excuses, just do better. It's just so crazy. It's just so crazy. Listen, as someone who cares a lot about, I don't even need to justify this, people's health and people's needs. Mental health is huge. I feel like mental health is one of the most important, if not the most important health aspect of someone's life. Aside from air, you got your ABCs, your airway, your breathing, circulation. Those are the things you need. You need food and shelter. And then you start going down. But I feel like there's a pinnacle, a cloud, a lining around everything where it's like, if your mental health is not in check, all those other things don't really matter, because it's like the quality of life. If you're depressed, if you're going through things, if you have anxiety, your social anxiety, whatever it is, eating disorders, I understand it all. There is a good way to handle this, and there's a bad way. And it's a whole, like, Demi Lovato is morphing into this like peak cancel monster. And this whole safe space thing. This is what I like. This person posted something the other day that it resonated with me a lot, and it's beautiful. And I think this is a good way to look at life and then not get triggered by things. Tim Kennedy, decorated veteran, was a UFC fighter. I believe he might be active again in the military, but that's neither here nor there, okay? Very powerful patriot. And he was posting about, there was all the drama about the girl who she looked away from the American flag. She was an Olympic athlete. I forget her name, but she didn't want to. She basically disrespected the flag on the podium. And she was saying how, she doesn't respect the flag and all this stuff. And she was an activist athlete. She like covered her head and everything from the American flag while the other people were, hand on their heart during the Pledge of Allegiance, or national anthem, sorry. But he did this post talking about it. And he says, do you know what would happen to another person in a different country if you try to do that in China, in Russia, if, in any communist country? They would murder you. They would murder your family. Go to North Korea and try not to weep when your leader is sick, okay? The inherent freedom in America goes both ways. The freedom to have those beliefs, that she is completely free to do that. That's a beautiful thing. Whether you agree with it or not, that's a beautiful thing. And that's why I think it is beautiful. If Demi Lovato doesn't feel good about something, she could feel free to complain about it. If someone has an issue, they at least have the freedom to have a platform to express themselves with it. But it's got to go both ways. And you got to be free to defend yourself and to not try to cancel people because of your own belief, your own thing. You don't try to take away other people's freedom. And a silly thing like showing like, hey, these are sugar-free. Because you ever thought about the fact, like maybe if you feel guilty for eating something, oh, if you're showing me healthy options, you're making me feel guilty the fact that I'm not. Maybe it's a trigger to tell you like, hey, maybe I shouldn't eat this. And she was also triggering by saying that like, walking by a gym and seeing people work out and in shape posters was making her feel bad. Can't you like try to just be motivated by it? Like, isn't that a you problem if we're going to be real about this? Now, if we're talking about all the weird shit on social media and everything, we're all responsible for it. With people who, like, I don't think it's good that people see all this plastic surgery and all this fake stuff and everything going on, like showing kids like, hey, if you don't like yourself, you can change it. You can get this surgery, fix this, fix that. I think that's ridiculous. But I feel like canceling people who need to be canceled is great. You know, if people are really racist, if people are really, doing terrible things, Harvey Weinstein, fucking done. But it's like when we have interpretations of what should be canceled and what's considered hate speech and what is actually violent, we're getting into a weird place in America where we've gotten so free, and it's businesses that just want to keep making money. They cower to all of it. And it's what gives people power, is when they start creating alternate realities like they're goddamn Thanos. They're just like, reality is whatever I make it. We start getting into weird territory of not being realistic. And then we're going to start passing laws and bills where there's a lot of interpretation of what is considered hate speech. Like, we could really get to a point where sugar-free cookies is hate speech because it's triggering and not making people feel inclusive. There's a way to weave that in there. We got goddamn Demi Lovato shaving her head now. Why aren't we treating her like Britney? Maybe give her a conservatorship, you know? Hey, and Demi Lovato's got some banger songs, okay? I like her music. A couple songs. But we'll end on this note. I must mention this because it's a victory. It's a victory, and I think this should be how businesses handle this. Trader Joe's, they tried coming for Trader Joe's. Listen, Trader Joe's said, if I don't call for you, don't come for me. They tried going for Trader Joe's. They tried saying, hey, you guys having Trader Jose, Trader Guadalupe, Trader Rigatoni, whatever you guys, they basically would take their brands and turn it into a character, of that culture for something we're selling. They were selling Mexican food or taco shells or something like that. It was Trader Jose. People who are behind cancel culture went after Trader Joe's, saying that it was racist, that it was cultural appropriation. They needed to change it, all this dumb shit. Trader Joe's said, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And they refused to change it. And it's amazing. I love it. I love to see it. You love to see it. Ooh, ooh. Listen. They said, the way we pick our names and everything is an ode to these cultures and making it fun for everybody, the people that shop with us. And we've done, we've looked at the value of our customers and the brands that we work with. And we're going to continue doing this because that's not the way we look at it and the reason why we do it. And what they realize is that the people who are trying to cancel you and want you to change things never fucking supported you in the first place. They were never going to, if you're an artist, if you're a comedian, if you're a business, whatever you are, they were never going to be a customer. They were never going to be a supporter or a fan, ever. You don't have to worry about them. You don't have to, the world is big enough. You don't have to worry about getting everybody to like you. And that's a huge thing. And I think that's where Hollywood is fucked up. Hollywood fucked up because they started caving to all this bullshit. People started getting dropped by labels. They started getting dropped by fucking Netflix and TV shows and movies, all over speculation and pressure from 1% of the people on Twitter. Because that's what it is. There's like a scary statistic that like 2% or something like 90-something% of all the tweets on Twitter are done by 2% of the people on there. So that means the people, all those toxic people that you see on Twitter saying all this shit, they're the ones saying it about everything. And it makes you feel like that's what the world is. So that's why you got to avoid shit like Twitter. I never go on Twitter unless I'm having too good of a day and I'm like, I got to bring a little bit of toxicity in my life. That's like you never run into all these things that you see in real life online. Most people are good. Most people, I don't care what your political party is, most people are good, you know? I'm friends with people all across the spectrum, you know? And that's what we got to remember, that Twitter's fake as fuck, and I love you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? Listen, 40 minutes. We're doing 40 minutes this episode. We fucking got it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? And I just want you to remember, I fucking love you guys. Always. Wednesday, we get weird. Monday, coming in hot. Coming in hot. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. I hope you have a good weekend. I hope you have a great Wednesday, a great Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we'll see you again on Monday. Free Britney, y'all. Fuck Demi Lovato. Free sugar cookies, okay? Free sugar-free cookies at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, no matter what, I still love you.